Hi, everybody. This is Paulina Bojorquez with Elite Commercial Group and the Residential Advantage powered by Keller Williams in Raleigh. Today, I wanted to tell you a little bit about how to prepare yourself to speak with a lender. The most important thing to note is that lenders really have to go by what they can see in your income and your credit. So it's a really good idea to get started speaking to a lender, probably 3 to 4 months before you actually have to buy a house, just in case there's anything that you have to fix. Normally, what I see is people start looking online first. They kind of fall in love with a house at a certain price point, and then they're either disappointed. Or then they start thinking that maybe they can buy a little bit more based on what they're seeing and based on their income. It's really important to understand that there's a lot of different programs, and speaking to your lender about what they specifically offer is really, really important. One of the lenders that I'm working with right now, for example, is offering $15,000 in down payment assistance that you do not have to pay back, and $5,000 that you do have to pay back if you move out of the house within a certain number of years. So you want to make sure that you check your score. Understand that what you find in Credit Karma, for example, is not actually what they see. They see a different score because they are looking at what the bureaus actually report. In addition to that, you are also wanting to make sure that you are looking at your income, that you're not having any changes in your income. So, for example, if you're working part-time and then you're going to move to full-time, you probably want to get qualified and closed before that change happens. Even if you're going to move from one job to another with a better income, that might actually hurt you a little bit if you're moving industries or moving specific roles, because they want to see the consistency of your employment. Other things that can affect your income and how it's calculated is whether you are getting paid a base salary with commissions or bonuses, because anything that is not consistent, let's say you're not going to get this commission every single month or every single quarter, and it's based on performance or production, they're not going to be able to use that. The other points that you want to take into consideration is if you are applying with someone else. It's great. A lot of times it is great to apply with someone else because you can use both of your incomes, but you want to make sure that both of your credit scores are either the same or one of them is a little bit higher, because if one person has a much lower income, a much lower credit score, that would actually affect your buying power. So there are a lot of things that we can discuss. This is just a little bit of information that you can go ahead and use to start that conversation with a lender. If you need any recommendations for lenders, please let us know. And again, I always recommend you speak to at least 2 or 3 lenders, because everybody has their own programs, and different loans like FHA, for example, are different than conventional loans. And some credit unions can give you a 100% loan without necessarily penalizing you for not putting a certain amount down. So I hope that helped. Please stay tuned, and we will be putting out more information with a little bit more detail. And if you have any questions, you can send them to us, and we will try to answer them in the next videos.